For almost 40 years, Sara Dallin and Keren Woodward have been the two constants in Bananarama, Love in the First Degree, Robert De Niro's Waiting. No British female group has sung on more UK top 40 singles. Venus was even a US number one. The band's third member, Siobhan Fahey, quit in 1988 to form Shakespeare's Sister, but Sara and Keren have kept going and still keep going, still touring the world. And during lockdown, they have formed a Bananarama bubble to write their autobiography. It's called Really Saying Something, named after another of their singles, As You Will Not Need to Be Reminded, or perhaps you will. Anyway, they've taken our entertainment correspondent, Colin Patterson, back to one of their old stomping grounds.
Here we are. It's been a while.
Bananarama.
Oh, we've still got the squeaky floor.
Back at Pineapple Dance Studios in London, Soho.
We haven't been here for 20, 30 years. It really was like something out of fame. Some tap going on. We came here all the time to piece together our famous and classic, infamous dance routines. I had a room, Love in First Degree, Venus, were all done here.
Keren Woodward and Sara Dallin have been friends since childhood. Their first stabs at choreography were in their teenage bedrooms.
The fact that we weren't polished made us maybe more accessible. Although we were slightly shambolic to begin with, I don't think that should take away from the fact that our group was our group. It wasn't a manufactured thing. In fact, maybe the performance side of things came after the rest of it. You were really wooden.
Self-deprecation has always been another part of their charm, but writing their autobiography, Really Saying Something, has allowed Bananarama to think about their contribution to pop history.
More top 40 hits than any other British female group, twice as many as the Spice Girls. I mean, how do you look back on it?
Takes some doing, doesn't it?
That's Keren, by the way, in case you can't tell your Ramas apart.
There were moments where I got quite emotional. You look back and you think maybe I wasn't as proud of myself as I should have been. There were so few girl groups around at the time. That's probably why we stuck out as something different. But yeah, we've worked hard and I think we deserve our place in pop history. You don't want to go on and on about how hard it is for women, but it is harder for women. I think it's harder to get respect.
The book does deal with some, as we would call them now, Me Too moments. Yeah. Shocking one with security guards.
Yes, that was on a French disco tour. So the three of us were in my room and then suddenly there was a knock on the door and in came two burly security guards and at the end of the bed started taking their clothes off and then just posed in the chairs. There had been no sort of come on or flirting. It was just so bizarre. I think that we've been saved in a lot of situations by the fact that there were three of us. You know, one young girl isn't overly intimidating, but three of you... Three laughing at them. Laughing at those situations, which is what we tended to do.
Were there many of those situations?
Do you know what? Yes, quite a few. The overlong hugs, the sort of bit of groping in a car. It's just like, excuse me. That was the way women were treated.
But the book also deals with the good times, and one encounter in the USA stands out for Sara.
Meeting Andy Warhol was because he's so iconic and he was taking Polaroids of us. You've said that we were the biggest thing happening in New York in an interview, which is just the most incredible thing to hear.
And you do tell the Robert De Niro story. You did get to meet up after releasing the single.
We met up and had a drink with him. It was just really strange.
What do you talk to Robert De Niro about?
I have no recollection. No idea.
Have there been moments in your career when you have been utterly starstruck?
Yes. Michael Caine. Michael Caine. I don't think we've been that starstruck with other musicians. Prince was quite strange because he didn't say much. We kind of led to him as if we were meeting the Queen or something. Yeah, he actually put his hand out like he was the Queen.
And despite all their 2020 tour dates being cancelled due to COVID, Keren insists they will be back on the road next year.
It's so easy every step of the way to think that you could easily be written off and disappear and become invisible. But why should you? I mean, I'm proud that we're still here and still going, to be honest.
Bananarama still getting results. Great to hear. That was Colin Patterson reporting.